Hey guys, how's it going? So it's been a long time since I had my last update. The last video I posted was about a couple months ago, 3, 4, 5 months ago. The reason why I haven't been posting is because a lot has changed in the last couple months. One of the biggest things that's happened is that I've finally quit my job. I'm no longer a 9-to-5 slave anymore. I've escaped the corporate plantation. I am now free. So today I want to talk to you guys about this decision, what led up to this point, how I basically got to quit my job and focus on my business full time, and exactly where my business is currently right now. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so as you guys all know, I went to university, I did electrical engineering as my bachelor's degree, and then I got a job as an engineer. So I want to go back in time and basically rewind to where I first started my career as an engineer and where I got to and where I am now. Okay, so I graduated in the summer of 2018. I got a job right away in the first 60 days. I got a job as a controls electrical engineer in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. And right away, as soon as I started my job, I basically flew and lived in hotels in Philadelphia for about the first year of my job. And at that point, guys, I was working 10-hour days, traveling all the time, and I was basically a slave. I was basically working like a corporate slave, sometimes working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. And as an engineer on a salary, you do not get paid overtime. So I was working an extra 30 hours for free every single week. And I just kept doing this and kept living like this because I knew, right now this is the job that I have, and I needed to save up my money to pay for my wedding coming up. So what I did was, for the first year, I did not spend a single dollar on anything. I literally saved up every dollar I could, paid off all my student loans, and then I went ahead and paid for my wedding. And then when I got married with my wife, I pretty much had no money in my bank account. I was pretty much broke. But luckily, by the grace of God, I got this opportunity to go and live in Philadelphia on the site for my job, and my salary bumped up from, instead of $4,000 a month post-tax, to $8,000 a month post-tax, right? So my salary of $70K a year after tax was around $4,000 and change. So now it basically bumped up to $8,000 post-tax, free car and free gas. My rent at that time in Philly with my wife was around $1,100 a month. Our groceries and everything else included was around $350, $400. And our total burn every month was about $1,600. So me making $8,000, spending about $1,600 a month, we were saving around $6,000 and $6,500 a month. Okay, and to anybody, that's great. And I personally, I loved it too, but I knew this was not going to last forever. So I needed to figure out, all right, I'm in Philly for the next 2 years. I need to figure out exactly what can I do with this money and how can I leverage it? What can I do with it to basically not have to work this job anymore when I have to leave Philadelphia? Because I knew the moment I leave Philadelphia, they're not going to pay me anywhere close to $8,000 a month of post-tax and a free car and a free gas. It's going to go back all the way down to, making $4,000 a month, which is literally nothing at this point. So what I did for the first year was learn everything I possibly could about real estate, learn everything I possibly could about business, learn everything I possibly could about finance, learn everything possible, because I knew I'm prepping my arsenal, which is my brain, for when the right time comes, I'm going to have the money and the knowledge to go and make things happen when the opportunity does arise. And guys, the opportunity did arise. So after the first 3 months of working, I had to go back to Canada for about 1 month. And at that point, I've been listening to Graham Stephan, Meet Kevin, and every single real estate YouTuber podcast that I possibly could. I then went and bought a duplex in the city that I lived in at that time, was in Windsor, for about $175K, 5% down, $17.5K. Spent about $100,000 to renovate it, and that $100,000 was straight from credit cards and line of credits. And I spent about $100,000 to renovate it, and that house cash flowed around $4,200 a month. Now, after all the payments, utilities, expenses, insurance, my net take home from that was about $2,000 a month. So now, guys, my net cash flow every single month was around $10,000, and I'm still only spending $1,600 a month. And I'm telling you guys, it takes a lot of restraint in someone when they're making, when they're saving around, let's say, $7,500 a month, almost $8,000 a month, and not to spend any of it and not to blow it all and just keep it saved. I did not put any of that money into the stock market. I didn't really put a lot into crypto. I literally just saved it all in cash because I knew what I wanted to do was real estate, and I knew I needed a lot of cash to do it. So that's what I did. I just saved my cash. Long story short, guys, now I'm in Philly. You know, the pandemic happened. We're still living through the pandemic. Did pretty much nothing that entire year. Pretty much wasted it away. Just playing video games all day, going to work, hanging out with my wife, and just saving every dollar I possibly could. But the one thing that I did was I was still learning. I was still learning as much as I possibly could. And at this point, I realized, all right, if I'm not going to start a business, if I'm not going to do anything real estate related, let me go do my master's degree and go, you know, try to get a better job. So at that point, I applied to Georgia Tech for my master's in software engineering and computer science, and I got accepted. And then this is the point, guys, where everything really turned. I basically realized, all right, I can't keep buying houses because it's going to take too long. I need to figure out how I can, you know, leverage the cash that I have and all the knowledge that I have, especially living in the city of Philly that I am, to go start a business. And as you guys know, I started my rental arbitrage company, my short-term rental business. And the last update you guys got was me making $60,000 a month. Guys, just in the last month alone, for the month of December, my revenue for the month was about $130,000. Just for the last 30 days, guys, in the month of December, it was $130,000. I think January will be around $150,000. So this is where I am right now with my business, guys. So long story short, guys, what I really did was save every single dollar I possibly could, live below my means, live like a student, make, you know, such a high income where I had the cash to execute, guys. Because a lot of people, guys, when they start a business or they start a company, they have $10 to their name and like really bad credit. I had really good credit, had a lot of cash saved up, and, you know, I had the brains and the smarts and the knowledge to go and make it happen. And guys, I'm a very risky person. You know, I like to just do things and I like to do them big. I don't really like to play it safe, and I like to go all in and go all out. If I'm going to make it happen, I got to make it happen. And you guys know the grind that I went through, all the struggles I went through, all the hardships that I went through, that me and my wife went through to start this business, to start our company. And now we're just relaxing and chilling and just expanding and growing. And then we're making, you know, $150K plus every single month. And that's only getting higher, guys. It's only growing. Now, I want to tell you guys how many new cities I'm in, how many new properties I've expanded into, basically how I've expanded the business, but I'm going to save that for another video. The main point of this video, guys, is to explain the reason behind quitting my job. As you guys know, I wanted to quit my job for a very long time, but I could not because I'm Canadian, all right? And my visa in America was really tied down to my job. So the minute I quit my job, I had about 60 days to leave the US. So I started planning. I'm like, all right, I need to leave this job because the number one thing, guys, that it's taking from me is my time, right? Me working 55, 60 hours a week to make $4,000 a month, commuting, it's bullshit. It's not worth my time. It's not worth it. I'm too smart to sit behind a desk and just stare at a screen for 10 hours a day. That's just not who I am. That's simply not who I am. So I hired a lawyer, got my investor visa, and now I can live in the US and operate my business without any issues whatsoever, and everything's Gucci on that end. Now, guys, here's the thing. At this point, I realized, you know what? I'll wait until December to quit my job, get that nice bonus, and basically do absolutely nothing for the last month of December. And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. That last month of December, when I actually stopped caring about my job, stopped doing anything, I just started traveling to Dallas, started making deals happen, started doing work, my business stuff at work. Literally, guys, my business exploded. Just in the last 30 days of me quitting my job, the amount of deals that have come my way, the amount of deal flow, the amount of things that are happening that are in the works right now, I can't even get into it because there's so much going on, so much deals that are happening. I have 5 units in Dallas that I'm starting to furnish the day after tomorrow. I have 16 units in Detroit and in 2 different buildings that are starting like in March 1st. I have another 2 units in Michigan starting next week. I have units in Austin that I did last week. Like, there's so much going on because I have that time now. The one thing is, guys, that you can always make more money, you can always lose money, but once you lose time, you can't ever get that time back. And my biggest bottleneck was that 9-to-5 job, right? You think about it like this. No 9-to-5 job's actually 9 to 5. It's more like 7 to 6. I wake up at 6:30, get ready by 7, drive 45 minutes to work, get there by 8. By 8 o'clock, you bullshit through the entire day doing absolutely nothing or doing menial stuff. And by the time you get home at 6 o'clock, if I want to go to the gym, it's 2 hours gone. So I literally have, guys, 3 hours in my day to spend time with my wife, my family, my friends, my relationships, work on my business, and that's like doing nothing else. 3 hours is all you get to yourself for the next 40 years. That is crazy. I cannot process living like that. That is insane. So you have to realize that when you want to go all in and you want to start that business, sure, keep your job until you're actually making money. But man, I would have quit a long time ago. If I could have, quit at 5K, 6K, 7K a month. Listen, my burn every month is only $1,200, $1,500 a month. Cause I can live off I don't really have to live off that much, to be honest. My standard of living at that time was a lot lower. Now, obviously, it's a little bit higher because I'm making a lot more. But still, relative to income, still a very, very low standard of living. So when you keep your expenses low, your lifestyle low, you don't have a lot of debt on you, and you have no worries, you have that risk adversity, go ahead and quit your job and go make that business happen, and go take those risks and take those chances. Now, the one thing is, guys, you need to understand is that for me and a lot of other people, I can confidently say not a single person I've ever talked to in my entire life can say, oh yeah, man, I enjoy my job. I wake up every single day and I'm so happy to go to work. Unless you're a ball player or a rapper, I can guarantee you they're lying to your face. And that's just the way, guys, it is. And I want everyone to know this as well. The minute I told my boss and called him and told him, hey man, I'm going to put my 2 weeks in. I didn't actually even put in my 2 weeks. I just told him I'm quitting. He said, all right, cool, thanks. Literally, that was it. The department manager, that I've talked to for the last 3 years, didn't even have the balls to call me and say, good luck. Literally, I guess he was butthurt about something and didn't even bother calling me. Nobody cared. No one gave a shit. And I can promise you that you're going to start interviews next week, or they might already have somebody on my desk. And that goes the same for everybody else. If you think your job really loves you, I can promise you they do not care about you. At the end of the day, you're just a cog in the machine. Me as a business owner, if somebody quits on me, I really don't care about them anymore. I need to now replace them right away to make sure that it does not interrupt my cash flow. If that interrupts my cash flow, then I'll try to do what I can to have them stay on. And if they want to quit, they can quit. That's all it is, guys, at the end of the day. If you're just a 9-to-5 slave, I'm sorry to say, that's all you're going to be forever. Because at the end of the day, you are not in control of your own life, right? You have no control over your days. You have no control over your time. And that's the number one valuable asset that I cannot get enough of, right? I only have so many hours in a day. We have so many more responsibilities. And if you want to start a business and have that lifestyle where you're in control of your time, guys, you can't be trying your hardest at work. You cannot tell your boss, oh yeah, I'll work this weekend. I'll work extra hard. Honestly, do the bare minimum. Just get by and work on a side hustle, work on a side business, work on what you can, guys, to get out of this rat race. Because I'm telling you, there is no future where you can confidently say, I'm going to be happy. The last thing you want, guys, is to be 55, 60 years old and look back and say, what do I have to show for it? 140 grand a year. What is that? 100K after taxes, living paycheck to paycheck, 401k for retirement. That's it. That's a pretty boring life, guys. We're in the age of like us millennials. We have so many opportunities out in front of us where we should go and take that chance. If you're in your 20s and you're not grinding every single day for 10 hours a day, and I mean literally grinding 10 hours a day, I don't know what you're doing. I literally stopped watching movies. I do not watch TV shows. I literally haven't played a video game in about a year and a half. I have not done anything but grind literally 24/7, 7 days a week, no days off since the start of this business. Because business doesn't sleep. You have to work all the time, 24/7. Now, I'm not saying I work 24/7. I work on expanding my business 24/7 because I want to keep growing. If I literally do nothing right now and I just stop and I completely shut everything down, my business will probably make $1.5 million this year. And if I don't do any expansion whatsoever and I just go chill and relax and do nothing, that's not in me. I like to grind, I like to work hard, and I like to get up every single day and know that, all right, I'm in a competition with 10 other companies out there that want to basically, eat the food off my plate. And that's, guys, how it is. You have to be hungry, you have to be driven, you have to want to wake up every single morning and know that, all right, I have to give 100% to this day, but to your own business, to your own self, to your own future, not 100% to this 9-to-5 corporate slavery bullshit. That's what I have to say, guys. I'm going to do a follow-up video on where my business is at right now. I think, to be honest, we'll probably be at the 200K a month mark by the time March or April come around. It's actually growing way too fast, more than I can handle. I'm going to be hiring a city manager in Detroit. Just in the city of Detroit alone, I should have about 40 apartments in Detroit by the end of, end of March. I'm actually going on vacation to Dubai next week just to take, 2-3 weeks off, have a mental break. I haven't taken a vacation since I started this. When I come back, I'll be nice and refreshed to tackle March on. I have so many projects that I pushed back all the way into March. There's so many things coming up. I think by the end of March, my monthly cash will be around 200 grand a month. And at that point, guys, then it's like, all right, now I have to open an office. Then I'm probably going to move to Austin or Dallas. We'll see honestly where life goes. But as of right now, guys, every single day that I'm awake, it's just a grind, nonstop, every single day, 24/7, to get this business to the next step on where it has to be. My goal is to grow this business into a $10 million a year company. It's not that hard, right? I've already done it to $2 million a year with my first year of business. And that was while I was working full time, right, and slaving away. Now that I have the time back in my hands, I can easily grow this to $5-10 million a year, no problem, because I have the time in my hands. Once you give me time, I'm dangerous. I'm a dangerous person when you give me time, because I'll start doing things that surprises everybody around me, and that's just how I am, right? And that's the way you can do as well when you have the time in your hands. And I'm telling you guys, you can do the exact same thing too, not necessarily in whatever business I'm doing, but you can do the same thing in terms of quitting your job, starting your own thing. There's so many different business ideas out there. People are doing e-commerce, they're doing dropshipping, they're doing Amazon, they're doing affiliate marketing, they're starting so many businesses, so many online companies that people are starting and making money from that do not have to work anymore. Because when you think about it, guys, all it really is this, right? If I choose to work that 9 to 5, okay, and I choose to grind every single day in 3-4 years, I might make engineer 2, controls 2, let's say project engineer. How much more am I really going to make? 85 grand, 95 grand, let's say, okay? All that is, guys, after tax every single month, is an extra $600-700. So you're telling me I have to add an extra 15 hours a week to my workload to make an extra $700 a week. So you're telling me if I don't give you an extra 60 hours a month, you can't make an extra $700, $800? For extra 60 hours a month, I'm taking from your life to give you $700. Can I go make an extra $700-800? Right? If you give me an extra 60 hours, 100% I can. It's super easy, right? So that's the thing, guys. Don't look at the career. Don't look at the money. Don't look at any of those things. Look at time. What is the number one thing that's really the most worth it for your time? I just had a masterclass done yesterday. I had about 23 people show up. There's about 5 or 6 hours of my time. Each person in the masterclass paid $1,000. So I made $23,000, guys, in 5 hours for my masterclass, okay? So now I know what my time is worth. Just in the last 4 months alone from mentorship and consulting, I made almost $35,000 in profit, just pure profit, right? And I probably only spent maybe 18 hours total of my time to get that $35,000 in pure profit, right? So that's the thing, guys. Like, don't leverage your time for money. Learn how to leverage your money for time. That's the number one thing that I can really tell you and that I've learned is that the majority of rich people I've met, the majority of wealthy people I've met in this last year alone, whether it be New York, Philly, Jersey, Miami, Dallas, Austin, every single person there does not trade their time for money. Every single person there, they leverage their money for time. That's the way to live, and that's what you have to do to escape this rat race and to escape the 9-to-5 and escape the corporate plantation. Now, until next time, guys, we'll talk more about where I am in my business currently and more things to come. There's a bright future ahead for this YouTube channel. It's 2022. I have a lot of time in my hands now that finally I'm not working this job anymore. And I look forward to sharing the journey with you guys and seeing where it takes me.